All right, welcome to The Explainer. You've probably seen the clips all over social media. Guys packing their bags and leaving their home countries looking for love somewhere else. The term for this is the passport bro, and wow, is it one of the most talked about things online today. But what's it really all about? We're going to dive into the source material and really understand the philosophy behind it.
So let's just get right to it. What is a passport bro? You might have a vague idea from TikToks or tweets, but the folks who are actually part of this movement, they argue it's a whole specific philosophy, not just some random trend. So let's look at their actual definition. Okay, so our source material, The Intentional Man, defines it like this. It's a guy who proactively seeks out women from other cultures. See, this isn't about some chance encounter on a vacation. No, this is a deliberate, thought-out search for what they call more traditional or complementary relationships, something they feel is just gone, back where they're from. And the source is really quick to point out this is not just a simple dating preference, like liking someone with brown hair versus blonde hair. It's framed as a complete lifestyle shift, one that demands serious planning, a lot of cultural research, and a ton of self-improvement, all before you even think about booking a flight.
So what's really driving all this? I mean, why would someone make such a huge life change? Well, according to the source, it really comes down to three main motivations that are pushing these men to look outside their own backyard for a partner.
So the source kind of breaks the why down into these three big buckets. First, there's this search for what it calls complementarian gender dynamics, getting away from a feeling of competition in a relationship. Second, it's about a really deep desire to feel genuinely wanted and appreciated by a partner. And third, hey, there's the practical side of things. In many other countries, a Western salary can give a family a much higher quality of life.
And really, running underneath all three of those reasons is this one common theme. The source claims that this whole movement is pretty much fueled by a deep, deep unhappiness with dating in the West. It paints a picture of modern dating as this constant battle, more like a negotiation than a real partnership.
Which, of course, brings us to the elephant in the room, the stereotype. The term passport bro comes with a lot of negative baggage, and the source material spends a good amount of time tackling the biggest criticism head-on.
The source does not shy away from this at all. It directly confronts the most damaging stereotype out there, that this is just a cover for sex tourism or guys using their money to exploit women. The proponents, they admit that some guys do that, but they argue it's a total corruption of the real idea. They draw a really hard line between two very different types of men.
So to push back against that stereotype, the source makes this really important distinction. It frames the difference as being between a tourist who travels to take something and a builder who travels with the goal of creating something real and lasting.
And here's exactly how the source breaks that down. On the left, you've got the exploiter, all about short-term gain, using money as power. But on the right, you have the intentional man. And the focus there is completely different. It's all about mutual respect, long-term commitment, and actually bringing real value to a partner's life.
Okay, so if the goal isn't exploitation, then what's the end game? What does success actually look like in this philosophy? It's not as simple as just getting a ring on a finger. The source defines success with a few really specific goals.
So, from this point of view, success is a three-step process. First, it starts with finding that real, non-competitive partnership. But here's the key. It also includes the personal growth you get from figuring out these huge cultural differences. And the final goal? It's using all that to build a stable, lasting, bicultural family.
But hold on. Before a guy even thinks about picking a country or even looking at a dating app, the source material says there's one absolutely critical, non-negotiable step that has to happen first.
And that foundation? It's all about self-assessment. The core idea is pretty simple. You can't expect to find an amazing partner if you haven't done the work on yourself first. That means taking a hard, honest look in the mirror at your finances, at your emotional maturity, and at what you actually have to offer someone in a relationship.
So, we're going to leave you with this final, really thought-provoking question, and it's pulled directly from the source. It's designed to make you stop and think, to challenge anyone even considering this path to think deeply, not just about what they want to get, but about what they're truly, genuinely willing to give up to make it happen.